Welcome everyone to the Authentic as Fog podcast. My name is Sun.
Hey,
Hey, San.
hey,
I am
son.
a marketer and I teach storytelling. And in this podcast, I run a community called Night Owl Nation, which is community of creators and entrepreneurs. And in this podcast, I work with one-on-one with entrepreneurs to kind of answer their questions and help them coach them with anything they need in terms of storytelling and things like that. So first we have Matt. Hey Matt, how are you?
Hey, son.
Hey, can you quickly introduce yourself? Where you're from, what you do, and then we'll go into kind of your question.
Okay, sure. Yeah, my name's Matt. I'm from Los Angeles, and I run an agency called eMarketed. And yeah, I've been in business since '98, so long time. And yeah, we've built websites, do SEO, paid ads, and yeah, kind of an omni-channel approach for our clients. We work with direct-to-consumer clients, and also have a specialty in the healthcare industry with working specifically with like drug rehabs. And yeah,
Got it. Okay. And what are you looking to get out of this call?
yeah. Well, I guess I've, since joining your community and just kind of really diving deep into my brand, I guess I pivoted last year to kind of thought I needed to niche down. And so I pivoted my company to only focus on direct to consumer with e-commerce. So I was just positioning myself as an e-commerce agency, but then I realized I'm still working with other clients and other types of companies. So I pivoted back. And so, yeah, I feel like I'm kind of in a branding crisis where I just, so I started a podcast about 3 or 4 months ago, and we interview experts in the industry, and it's called Shoponomics. And so we just had a meeting internally yesterday, and I think we're going to continue the podcast, but change the name. And so it's not
Got it.
so, e-commerce focused.
Where do you want your
But yeah,
business?
I guess
Where do you want your business to go? Like in the long run?
um, yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, I'd like to grow it. In the past I've been larger, but I think I grew it just, with not a lot of systems, and just, at one point I was just, I felt like I was babysitting a bunch of, employees.
Mm,
And so I guess I want to grow it and just grow it smarter and have better systems in place. I think I want to productize some of my services. So yeah, I guess I want to grow the business, but I want to figure out a way to kind of stand out in the busyness of all the agencies out there. And it seems like on social media, people are starting agencies with no experience, and which is good for them, but it just seems like it's a crowded market now. So I guess my question to you is like, how do I stand out in that crowded market?
yeah.
And
Okay. I mean, I can talk all day about agency business because I know so much about the agency business, like different types of agencies, inside and out, right? So you know,
yeah,
like I have a bunch of questions I have for you in terms of that type of technical stuff, right? Like, do you want to grow vertically? Do you want to grow like this? Do you want to, like, do you want to specialize? Do you want to, like, in terms of service, or like, um, in terms of industry, or like, but before we get into all of that, right? Because like depending on how you want to grow your agency, I think there's so many different ways to run an agency, right, and grow it, and every agency is so different
right.
from each other. I guess we first
Hmm.
need to figure out like you. And the reason why I ask you is because you said you've grown it before, and then now you want to try it differently, right? And you use this
Right.
word like you felt like you were babysitting, right?
Hmm.
So I because I relate to that a lot. And as soon as you say that, like I got goosebumps because I'm like, oh shit, that's and the reason why I ask is I wonder if your personality is similar to mine, where that's just not a business that I want to run, where
Mm-hmm.
where the goal is to grow the agency, like to keep hiring people, put in processes, and grow the agency that way, because there's
Mm-hmm.
no there's no way that you don't have to babysit. There's no
Right.
company in the world where if you want to scale and you want to have employees, like
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
that you don't babysit. That's just impossible, right? And
Right.
babysitting is part of
Right.
leadership, right? So
Yes.
what the question that I would ask myself if I were you is like, is this something that I really want to do? Because
Hmm.
there are people out there who thrive on that. They love that shit. They love
Yeah. Yeah.
babysitting. They love training people. They love, like, you know what I mean? They love the people.
Uh-huh.
And I really
Right.
believe that if you somebody who should be building an agency and trying to make agency successful, their real passion should not come from creative. It should come from serving people.
Hmm.
Do you understand what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
The creative is like the
Yes.
thing that you do, but the thing has to be the people. And if you, for me, if I look at it like that, if I look at it growing an agency like that, I would actually do it completely differently than if I'm just thinking
Hmm.
about the creative. Do you understand what I mean?
Right. Right.
And I
Okay.
actually think that
Yes.
that's the way to grow a successful agency. Let's talk about
Got
that. What
it.
do you
Got
think
it.
of that? What do you think about what I just said?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it makes sense. So, I mean, just not looking at growth, but looking at just, I guess, creating something that serves people and serves my clients. I mean, so that's kind of
I guess,
the
yeah.
focus is the.
Is that something that you enjoy? The human side of it, like the service side,
I
excluding all
I
the
do. I
work. Yeah.
do. Yeah, I do. And yeah, I
Oh,
do
okay,
enjoy
okay,
it.
yeah,
And I mean, yeah, I like helping companies, and yeah, I like seeing companies grow and flourish, and yeah, I like, a lot of the companies we work with just don't have, the marketing understanding, and so yeah, I like to be able to come in and offer a solution and run it, and see their businesses thrive. So I do like that part of it.
yeah. So it's
Yep.
so basically, when you're growing an agency, you have to look at yourself not as like a doer, but a leader, right?
Hmm.
So as a
Right,
leader,
right,
your real job is to basically, serve client, make sure the clients are happy. But the way you do it is through your team, right? So your real job
right,
is
right.
is creating an environment, training, you know,
Training. Yeah.
yeah, creating the
Hmm.
culture,
Hmm.
creating teamwork, right? Leadership is your
Right,
real job,
right,
not
right, right.
like finding out your
Yeah, I guess
yeah.
in the Yeah, yeah. I think in the past I've just, and still even today, I'm like, still, I have my hands in it, and I'm also, managing a small team. So I think in the past when I was bigger, I was busier and I was doing more, but also trying to do both, right? Be the leader and still,
Yeah, I don't know if you can run
serve
a
a
big
client.
agency if you're involved in the project. I think you can run a
Right,
small
right.
boutique agency where the creative director is the owner
Uh-huh.
and they're involved in the project. That's possible, which is what I did. Do you know what I mean? That's why I
Right,
knew that I couldn't grow this agency beyond a certain size, right? Because for me to grow it
right.
beyond a certain size, my 100% of my role had to be just leadership. Like I'm not even touching the
Just leader.
projects.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
Hmm.
And that's something that
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of people who got into this industry, like from a creative, like you know, like a creative person that got into industry, that's really hard to let go for them. It's really hard for them to
Yes,
let
yes.
go of that stuff. Okay, projects, no, I'm now just managing and leading people, and I think that's
Right,
a
right.
question that every freelancer or agency have owner has to ask themselves, like, do I want
Hmm.
to go that route or this route? Do I want to be involved in the
Right,
projects, or am I just growing an agency?
right. Yep. Yeah, that's a good question. That's what I need to really, um I think it is growing the agency, but I guess I just need to, kind of remove
Yeah.
myself from, you know,
Then I
on the
think the
projects.
niche
And
is
I don't do
like
them all, but
then I think the niche becomes kind of like in both cases, right? You have to let your niche evolve. Like for us, what happened was
mhm,
in Night
mhm.
Out, um, we did like I think we did one website for a medical technology company, and then that got us
Mhm.
another some related like pharmaceutical pharma tech company. And then it got us another pharmaceutical company and got us like a healthcare company.
Yep.
And we just got, without us really trying to go after a niche, we fell into that niche.
Right. Right.
And then we learned that, when we do this, we all need to get like everybody in our office got HIPAA certified, because we needed to get
Okay.
HIPAA certified in order to work on a HIPAA certified app, right? So then next time when
Right.
we were bidding on a hospital, out of the 3 agency, we were the only one that were HIPAA certified. So we automatically got the project. And that's how
Okay.
a niche
Yep.
works.
Yep.
Do you understand what I mean? Niche evolves like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And then
Right.
one day I started getting frustrated because I don't want to work with these hospitals. Like, this is boring. I was at the place where I'm like, this is so boring. I'm just like, I'm basically coming into a work at 9 to 5 job at
Okay.
at
Yep.
this agency that serves pharmaceutical companies with boring projects, where I'm just coming in to do this job
Uh-huh.
every day, right? So I I didn't enjoy coming into work in my own company, so I had to pivot, right?
Right.
But right around that time, we had a new client who's not a pharma company. It was Gabby Bernstein, who's like a influencer,
Mhm.
motivational speaker, and I just fell in love with working with her. And then she introduced me to another motivational
Okay.
speaker, and so on. And then so we got into this person again naturally, not by going,
Naturally.
oh, I'm gonna do personal branding. Boom. No, it just naturally happened. And what happened was, we noticed that Gabby uses Infusionsoft. The next client also used Infusionsoft, and soon we realized that every big influencers use Infusionsoft. Every big influencers
Mhm.
uses certain softwares. Every like they all do certain things certain ways. So once we mastered that and how like really became pros at that, same thing. Like,
Mhm.
they're gonna come to us and be like, okay, these guys have done this with Infusionsoft, working with this scale clients. Whereas in these guys, yeah, they've done other projects, but they don't really know about Infusionsoft. They don't really know about personal brands. Like, it becomes a no brainer, right? So it just
Yep.
evolved like
Now
that.
during
Yeah.
Yep. During that process, so like when you were just doing healthcare, did you like when people landed on your website, was it appear to them that you were
Yeah. So in the
specialized in
beginning, no.
healthcare, or did you change?
In the beginning, no, right?
No. Okay.
But after a while,
Yep.
we started marketing ourselves like that, right? And then once we
Right.
switched to the personal branding space, we started marketing ourselves that way. Do you understand me?
Right.
But the thing about niche is, a lot of
Yep.
people feel like this. A lot of people in this industry is like, no, I don't want to niche out because I don't want to let go of this opportunity, and I still have clients on this. Fine, keep doing it. Like,
Right.
for example, when we were working with um all those healthcare companies, right? We were working with hospital, pharma tech companies, and all of that. Around that time, we got Spotify as a client. You think I'm gonna turn down
Okay.
Spotify? Hell no. Yeah, we're still taking them on.
Right.
We just don't advertise it. Do you understand what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So yeah, niching down doesn't mean that you're like, it's not a, it's not exclusive relationship. You know what I mean? Niching down doesn't
Right.
mean you're
Yep.
throwing all
Yeah.
these clients away. Um,
Right. Right.
yeah. And last thing I want to add is this. So industry wise, it'll become clear which
Mhm.
industry resonates with you and you're good in, right? Over time, over
Right.
a year, 2 years, right?
Yep.
Service wise, it'll be clear what you're good in. Is it websites? Is it
Yes.
pay per click? Is it SEO? Because niching down on that is actually much more important, in my opinion, than niching down on the industry.
Okay. Yep.
You know what I mean? Because me,
Yes.
when I work with top tier clients, like the top tier clients, and I'm looking for vendors, I am looking for the top SEO expert that just does SEO. I'm looking for the top pay per click person that just does pay per click. I'm looking for the top,
Right.
funnel guy that only does funnels, right? I'm not looking for the agency
Yep.
that does all of them. Okay, right?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I would argue that that's actually, and it'll become clear to you what you're good in, where your strengths are
Yeah.
and which one you can, focus on, right? So that will also happen. And lastly,
Yeah.
your personality will seep into the culture. So things like this, like should we keep it small and tight and kind of family like? Should we grow it and make it procedurize and everything? Should everything be very tight process? Should it be loose and relaxed and everybody has autonomy? Those kind of things also defines what your brand is, niche is. Like the combination of these three things is your niche, and you
Right.
can't possibly define it and force it, and it's just gonna manifest
Yeah.
itself when you keep. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Because it is you.
Yes.
As long as you keep doing you,
Yeah. Yeah.
those things will manifest itself.
Yep. Yep. I love it. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're
I hope
you're spot on, man.
I hope because like I actually like I'm so glad we did this because I really wish somebody had sat me down and told me this 10 years ago. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
because I wasted the last 10 years of my life trying to do that, right? Trying to find a niche.
Okay.
And then I'm like, "Oh, no, actually everything that we specialize in, everything that great happened in my life happened by accident. So what makes me
Okay.
think that I
Yeah.
can plan the next 10 years? No,
Right. Right.
everything good
Right.
in my life in the last 10 years happened by accident. So the next 10 years is
Right.
going to be the same.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
Yeah. No. No. That's yeah. That's plenty.
Awesome,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for the great question. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next, we have Helena. Hi, Helena.
Hi, San. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. So yeah, let's start with
Okay, great.
who you are, where you're from, what you do, and then we'll go into what your question is.
Okay. First, I want to say thank you for the opportunity. I'm Helena. I'm from Indonesia, and I graduated as an architect, but now I'm a wedding designer, and I have my own company with three other partners. And because my business is quite uncommon, I'm a wedding designer,
Wedding
and I
dress
have
designer or
difficulties. No, wedding decoration
okay,
designer.
okay, okay, got
So
it.
I do wedding
Okay.
decoration. Yeah, and I have difficulties connecting how storytelling can help me attract higher budget clients actually, and to show on Instagram that we are the right vendor for our potential client. We have been doing marketing on our Instagram since we started, and we were doing fine until we need to upscale and until we need to find a higher budget clients because we are actually very we love to design great decoration just like night owls.
Mhm.
You love to design great websites, right? So yeah, we need to find higher bigger budget clients because we want to make better designs.
So let's
Yeah, and I'm
because I don't know that industry well, maybe you can give me a little
yeah,
crash
I
course.
know. Okay,
So
yeah.
who are typically who are the clients, and when they come to you,
Hmm.
what are they asking for? And usually, like, and what is the service that you provide, and usually how much does that cost around? And then when you say
Okay.
higher budget clients, what price range are we looking at now? And like, yeah, draw the
Hmm.
picture of that industry for us.
Okay. Okay, so when client come to us, they would ask for a personalized wedding decoration because that's actually our specialist. We are specialized in creating a personalized and customized wedding decoration.
Yeah.
So they would come to us and ask for a personalized design, and then we would give them sort of a quotation for how
Can you
much
give
it
me an
would cost.
example of what a
And
personalized design is? Like, is it just like
it's
monograms and stuff, or is it like
no, it's we give different design for each client that come to us, and it's nothing like
so
Pinterest
it's completely unique?
reference or
Mhm.
yeah, it's completely unique and it's completely come from our design team. we don't copy other people's design or other references. We actually come up with original ideas that
Is it like
we
interior
think
design
by
where
ourselves.
like the client says, "Oh, I want to do something like this. I want to do something like that," or the client is not involved?
uh, the client is involved. Actually, they have sort of what kind of wedding dream
Their
they
dream wedding.
want,
Yeah. Okay.
and we translate
Okay.
it into, yeah,
Got it.
and then we translate it into a unique design
Yeah.
that we come up with.
Okay.
Yeah, and that we would usually cost right now. Our budget is around maybe $30,000, I think. $30,000, and
What does that include? That includes like the
we want
venue
to.
and everything, or it just includes the decoration?
No, no, it's just the decoration.
Okay.
It's just the decoration. And we want to target a higher budget clients because for now we can really try to be creative because
Budget limit.
we have the budget as, as the limit. So yeah, we I just want to
Well, I want to ask
ask
a couple questions
how
first.
should we. Okay,
Okay.
sure.
The way you do business, does everyone else do the same thing?
Yes.
How does everyone else do it? What's like the industry standard?
So okay, actually we started as a very uh p- um we started as we offer personalized design when everyone else over like template design.
Okay,
So we
yeah,
actually
got
started
it.
as unique, but now everyone else start
It's
to
doing the
offer
same
the
thing.
same thing as us. So yeah, and so we kind of
Do you
we
make
don't know
less
what
money
makes
when you
us
do personalized
unique again.
versus
Yes,
template? So
and now everyone offers the same.
that means they're losing more
Sorry,
money too.
I need to. Yeah, I need to. I Our budget is not 30,000 but $3,000.
Oh, that's a big difference.
Sorry. Yeah, I know. I have to convert it to Indonesian rupiah, so yeah,
Okay.
I get this.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like, okay, so
yeah,
let's move on. So that means those
yeah,
companies are now they're doing personalized. They're probably also losing money, more money than before. They're probably not making as much money as before because before they used to just do
yeah,
template, but now they have to do personalized. So I'm sure it costs
yeah.
more, right? So
So I'm not really sure that it costs them more because sometimes they would just copy the
the marketing,
Pinterest
yeah,
design. Yeah, and they would just copy other people's design. Actually, even our design, sometimes our design get copied and they sell it to their clients. So yeah, we spend a lot on our designers. We
okay,
spend a lot
got
on
it,
our development team, and some just copied it and just sell it to their clients. So
got it.
yeah,
Okay,
we
so this is
they
less
copy our
about.
design. Yeah,
So the cost is less about materials; it's more about the design. The design is where the cost is.
yeah,
Okay, got it. So
yeah.
you're okay. So it's a service like what we're doing, like what an agency is doing. Okay, now let's look at the high end market. So what's the budget you want to target?
I want to target like eight eight and to
Okay,
$10,000.
and is that a different type of
Yeah.
client?
Actually, yes.
Okay, so what's the difference?
Actually, yes. I The difference is the taste, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people with our current budget clients usually don't have. Usually, they match our taste.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we come from a middle class
Mm-hmm.
uh, um, society, so yeah, we have that taste naturally. Now we want to target higher budget clients. We have to like upgrade our taste and design and everything so that we can match their style. Now, it confuses me when it comes to how I should portray our brand, ourselves on social media when we don't actually come from that social class. If you understand,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not. I don't
What do
come
you think is
from
the
the upper
difference?
class, but I want to target. I think it's more like, I don't know, everything. Maybe everything.
Let,
I'm not
so let's say
really confident with who I am now.
if I see a $3,000 wedding, decorated wedding, and I see like
Hmm.
a $15,000 decorated wedding. Okay, what
Mm-hmm.
is going to be the
Mm-hmm.
difference?
Mm-hmm. The difference would be like the
Hmm.
flowers, the amount of flowers used, the kind of flowers used, the design, the
Like, is it
materials,
going to be,
almost everything.
if somebody, a average person looks at it and looks at it, it's going to be like a clear difference, obvious difference.
Yes,
Okay,
obviously.
okay. And
Mm-hmm.
you have design capabilities to do that right now, so
Yes.
you can compete with those guys right now. How
Actually, yeah,
confident do you
but
feel
we
that?
don't have the chance.
I know, forget about the opportunities.
Okay.
If your company and another wedding
Mm-hmm.
the highest charging wedding company that you know
Mm-hmm.
compete against a
Mm-hmm.
project, are you confident that you can do
Mm-hmm.
just as good work as them?
I think so.
Okay. You answered that really quickly. Like,
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you okay? How long have you been doing this?
um, about 6 years.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you're pretty expert at this. Okay, I'm gonna believe you. I'm gonna believe that you guys are just as good as the ones that charge us just as much, right? Then the answer is this, like, because that was me, right? Because when I started out, I knew I was just as good as the big agencies. Like, us as small agencies, when we had like 8 people, uh, our 8 people agency were competing against an agency that had 500 employees. They were ranked like number 3 digital agency in the country at that time, and we won that project over them. Do you understand what I mean? But here's the thing: we had to lose money for a couple years in the beginning in order to get there. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it is an
Yeah.
investment. What happened was, the first project that I did, I got paid $3,000 for it. Well, the first project that I did, I actually got paid like 1,700. But the second project that I did, I got $3,000 for it, and I made it like a $60,000 website. It took me 9 months to make it. Okay, but because of that,
Yeah.
the next project I got was $10,000, right? And I made it like a $30,000 website. And then the next project I got was $17,000, and so on and so on and so on. There's no way you're gonna get those clients without those projects, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it depends, right?
I know.
If it's a B2B industry, let's say we're working with agencies and things like that, maybe, because I can just go around and just network with the right people and try to sweep under and get a project like that. But I would
Mm-hmm.
imagine somebody who's rich, who's spending money on their wedding, that bride is not gonna be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go with somebody I like. That bride is gonna go with somebody who's good,
Mm-hmm.
because she wants the perfect wedding.
Yeah.
It's not like
Mm-hmm.
a it's not like a CFO here that's looking for the best deal, right? She's looking for
Yeah.
the best result. So the only person that you need to please is her, the bride,
Mm-hmm.
right? So let me ask you this: if you walked up to that, you have an opportunity to have a meeting with a bride who's getting married in a year, who has unlimited budget. Okay, what do you think she wants to see from you?
Maybe very mind-blowing design, I think.
Huh?
What does he wants
Yeah.
to see from me, right?
Yeah. What does that bride want to see from
Oh,
you in order to hire you?
maybe, yeah, maybe our portfolio,
Yeah. So
our previous portfolio that convinced her.
that's the first thing that's going to grab their attention, is when they see it.
Hmm.
So they're going to look at your portfolio and immediately has to be
Yeah.
like, oh shit, that's what I want. If that doesn't happen,
Yeah.
it's going to be hard to get that person, right? Do you
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. But the problem is with website, I don't know about very detailed about website, but I imagine that if we make a website, we don't really have to spend real money on making it, right? But if
Oh yeah,
we
so
work on a wedding decoration,
yeah, there's no
yeah,
cost of
we really have
materials.
to spend real money. Yeah, right.
That's why
Like
I
the
asked you, like,
flowers, they're really, really expensive.
that's why I asked you before, like, how much
Yeah.
of it is the design
Mm-hmm.
and how much of it is the materials.
Okay. So the flowers actually cost the most. The most.
Okay, so that yeah, that's exactly why I asked you
About.
that, because I wanted to know
Mm-hmm.
if there's other. Of course, like if you spend more on materials, the design's going to be better too,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that's
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so there are other costs to this other than just the design.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
have to account for that then. Um, yeah, I mean that's gonna be harder, right? Because now that's an investment on your end.
Mm-hmm.
Like you actually have to put
Yeah.
money out of your own pocket. But here's what I'll
Right.
say, right? If you really okay, let me ask you this. Like let's say you do that a couple times, and then you can
Mm-hmm.
get yourself to that level where you can do $10,000, $15,000 wedding. Is that worth the investment or no for you? And maybe it's not, but I would ask you because a lot of people ruin ruin their future of their brand so that they can make a buck today. This is the mistake that every business owner makes. I lost money for the first 2 years of my business. Do you understand what I mean? But that's the reason why I
Yeah.
can charge so much now.
Mm.
Do you understand what I mean?
Okay.
But I know a lot of
Yeah.
people at that
I
same
get it.
time were making money in their first 2 years of their business. But
Mm.
today they're still charging the same amount they're charging back then.
Mm. Yeah.
So at some
Get
point you're
it.
gonna have to make a decision. Like, do I wanna
Mm-hmm.
keep doing the same thing I'm doing or do I wanna upgrade?
Okay.
You can do it slowly too.
Okay. So.
So what
Mm-hmm.
I would do is I would try to next time I'll get a $3,000 project and I would put in my own money. Even if I lose money, I would make it look like a $6,000 project, right? And then on the next one, I would
Mm-hmm.
use that
Yeah.
to get a $6,000 project and make it look like a $12,000 project, right? And I will get the $12,000 project,
Mm-hmm.
make it look like. Do you understand? Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Get it.
So that you can do it slowly, and then the most important is this: sales. Okay, I think this
Mm-hmm.
is I don't know how it works in the wedding industry, but this is the biggest mistake that people make in my industry. Like designers have a lot of ego, right? So
Right.
like I feel like I would if I'm selling to brides, I feel like I would close every sale because all I gotta do is I gotta walk into that meeting, and I know that my only job, like my only job in this, like for that 1 hour meeting, I have to imagine that nothing else exists in this world. The only thing that exists in this world is the bride, and what can I do to make that bride happy? That's literally the only thing that has to be on my mind when I walk into that sales meeting. And if then whatever I do
Mm-hmm.
in that meeting, if I do it through that lens, I
Mm-hmm.
bet you I can close that person. Because like
Yeah. Okay.
wedding business is such a great business because it's like
Mm-hmm.
look at people spending like, 10, 20, $30,000 on wedding bands, right? Or like engagement rings and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
People do some
Yeah.
crazy shit because people are blinded by love. When people are blinded by something that they want so much, like a wedding or something like that, like they're willing to do crazy things. Like they're willing to go out of their, normal. That's why when people go on vacation, they spend more money on dinner and they don't really care, right? Because it's an experience and things like that. And
Yeah.
that's kind of how wedding is. So people are very emotional. So like you literally your only job is to make her feel like a princess, right? And if you can do that, that's what she's
Mm-hmm.
looking for. And she's willing to pay any amount of dollar so that she can feel like a princess
Mm-hmm.
that day. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like your sales strategy has to be that. What because
Mm-hmm.
I bet you a lot of I mean I'm not gonna make assumptions, but if I had take a guess, I bet you a lot of sales meetings go like this. Let's say, I'm the bride. And the wedding planner or wedding decorator comes in, and he's like, oh yeah, and then we've done this, we work with this person, we work with this person, and here's all the things that we've done. Oh, this is like they're talking about themselves, right? And oh, we can also do this as well. Whereas in, like, if I were that wedding decorator, I would come in and I wouldn't say one word about me, and I would start with, okay, tell me your dream wedding. And then all I would do is the entire time there, I would let her talk. And every time she stops talking, I would ask a question that's gonna get her to talk. That's all I want. In that meeting, all I want is her to talk. And I guarantee you, if she talks 90% of the time and you talk 10% of the time, at the end of that meeting, she's gonna say, I feel like this person really understands what I want. But if you talk
Okay.
90% of the time and she talks 10% of the time, she's gonna feel like, oh, this person has no idea what I want.
Yeah, got it.
You know?
Okay. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Do you mean by saying that? Do you mean that it's actually more important for us to focus on our design and sales instead of making brand story and put it on
Oh, for
Instagram?
you? Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
trust me, no
Okay.
bride is going like, oh, I'm gonna hire this wedding planner because of their brand story. Like, if your design,
Yeah, I know.
if your
I know.
portfolio doesn't look like my dream wedding, do you think your brand
Mm-hmm.
story is gonna make me hire you? But let's talk about your brand
Yeah,
story
yeah.
anyway
That's.
because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So
oh,
our
before you do
yeah.
it, by the way, I just want a quick announcement
Mm-hmm.
for everyone. Starting from January, what we're gonna do is this podcast is gonna turn into a storytelling podcast, and every week we're gonna do something like this, and I'm gonna coach people through storytelling. And then once a month, we're gonna pick the best stories, put them in a room, and they're gonna tell their stories, and then have discussion about their stories. So that's gonna be the
Mm-hmm.
podcast format. So let's do a little preview here.
Okay.
So tell me your story.
Okay. So our brand story is that when we started, we were architects and we saw that wedding design was very boring because everyone used the same similar design, and every week when we attend a wedding, it will look like uh, the decoration that we've seen before the previous week. So yeah, we thought we want to make something different, and we want to make something very very personal for the couple. So since we started, we always make a different design for each client. Until now, we have never used the same design twice. So yeah, that's actually our strongest value that we hold on until now. But yeah, I personally think that it's that story is kind of outdated now because like everyone is doing the same. So yeah, I
You
need
are the
something. I think like I need something. Yep.
you are the owner of the company.
Yeah, me and my three other partners.
Oh, you have three partners.
So I
Okay.
have partners. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we started like that, and we were unique back then,
Hmm.
but now like everyone is doing the
Everyone's
same
doing
like
the same
what we
thing.
do.
Yeah. So what makes you
Yeah.
unique today?
hmm That's what I'm asking myself actually. What makes me unique
Yeah, like,
now?
so for
I
example,
don't know.
if I
Actually,
were to go to
besides.
one of those companies and hire them, and
hmm
then I came to you and hired
hmm
you, what would be the difference?
hmm The difference will be at least I can say this from my end. I don't know about other people, about other vendors, but for my company, we always try to make our clients happy. That's our main focus. Although it means, although like if they ask for and we will give our best design. Our designer will have the best ideas presented to the clients. So yeah, our main focus has always been the clients and how we can make them happy. And we are willing to lose money
Why?
just to make. Why? Because I don't know. To disappoint our client is like just our biggest nightmare because we don't want to have clients talking bad about our brand, I think. So
Your other three
we
partners
want for them to have,
feel that way too.
yeah, they have the same right.
So you feel like
Yeah, they have the same value.
if one client is unhappy, then it's gonna ruin your brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where do you
Yeah.
get
So
that
we
feeling?
will
Give me another time in your life
um mm-hmm,
when
mm-hmm.
something like that has manifested. Like when which other times in your life did you feel that fragile where, oh, if I mess up, then my reputation is ruined?
I can't think of any experience about
Mhm.
that. Actually, I think it's just myself. I really don't want to upset people. I
Okay, so it
really
has
don't
nothing to
want
do with
to
your
disappoint
reputation.
people.
It has to do with you just don't like to upset people. You don't like confrontation. You like
Actually, yeah. Initially, yeah. Yeah. Actually, I just want to make people happy and I don't want to
okay.
disappoint
So
people. So, but mhm,
give me a story in your life how that manifested, whether it's with your parents, your friends, your like you know what I mean? Like where you were trying to be a
mhm.
people pleaser and yeah.
I think I have been like this my whole life, as far as I remember.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah,
now you
maybe
just
it's,
need to come up with a
I don't
story.
know.
I need
Yeah,
to hear a
I think
story,
I've always,
yeah,
uh-huh.
of when you were young.
I think I've always been the nice kid in my house. I've always been the nicest daughter. I've always been the smartest one. So yeah, maybe
Okay, so
it makes
has
me.
that ever affected you in a negative way? Like people take advantage of you?
I feel like no. I feel like I'm just sometimes I tend to be too hard on myself, so that I can meet their expectation or
Okay.
what I assume they
Stop analyzing
expect from me.
yourself. Okay.
Okay.
I'm telling you to I'm asking
Okay.
you to give me a specific story, not self-analysis. Okay.
Mhm.
So stop trying to
Okay.
analyze yourself and just tell me,
Mhm.
was there a time in your life when you trying to please everyone, like you don't want people to hate you or something like that, has impacted
Mhm.
you negatively? Whether, oh yeah, because of that, I lost money. Because of that, uh, people take advantage of me. Because of that, like,
Okay.
tell me a specific thing
Yeah.
that happened in your life
Mhm.
that manifests as that part of your
Mhm.
personality. You understand what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. In actually in my business, it happens all the time. Like when we started, we lost money for our first like 10 projects
Uh-huh.
because we try to fit in our client's budget, but we want to give the best. Like we were very
Okay, give
idealist
me an example
about
of this
design. Yeah.
outside of your
Mm-hmm.
work when you were younger.
It's okay.
And like
I
you know
can't
that
think
feeling,
of
right?
one.
You know that feeling like,
Uh-huh.
yes, 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 there I'm being taken advantage of, but I can't like
Mm-hmm.
I can't help myself, right? Yes, I know I'm
Mm-hmm.
losing. Yes, I know this is hurting me, but I can't help myself. For example, you know what I used to do in college?
Mm-hmm.
Like I would help my friends do their homework so that they can get an A, and
Mm-hmm.
then I don't have time to do my own. So I would fail my tests. Do you understand what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
give me something. What I'm looking for is this. Tell me a story in your life that'll prove to me that you're really like that. Because right now, I don't believe you. Everybody says that. Everybody says, I care about my clients. I go overboard. I'm a client is like, everyone says that. I don't believe you. Tell me a story. Tell me the exact point in your life
Okay.
when that affected you in a relatable way. Then I'm going to be like, oh shit. Yes, I know. I'm exactly like that. I know what she means. I'm like that too.
Okay.
And that's why I trust her. Do you understand what I mean?
Okay. I don't know if yeah, I get it. I don't know if it's related or not, but when I was a kid, I would usually help my mom to sell like food. She
Mhm,
would cook and I would sell it like door to door. I will knock on our neighbors and offer them to buy my mom's cooking,
mhm,
and then the money goes to her. I
mhm.
mean, I just do it for just to help our family. I don't take any money from that. I don't take like a percentage of that or the profit.
I know, but
I
that's
just do
still
it
logical,
because I
right?
want to
Like
help my mom.
you're helping
Yeah,
your mom, yeah, and
yeah,
It's still kind of
Yeah.
very standard. Here, I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it doesn't have to be crazy example. You know, my dad used to pay me and my sister $10 to wash the car when we were little, when
Mm-hmm.
we were like 6 years old. So we would like go ahead and we'll get the soap and we'll wash it perfect. It'll take us an hour to wash it. And after that I'll wax it. And then I get so into making the car perfect that I would spend the $10 that I made washing the car to go buy an air freshener and then put it in the car. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
say that story, what do you feel? What do you feel about me? What kind of person am I? I'm the type of
You
person I
you
don't give a
you
fuck
don't.
about the money. When I'm in a
Mm-hmm.
project, I want to make this perfect. I don't care. I don't care what, even if I lose money, I don't care. I'm gonna make it perfect because that's the personality I have.
Mm-hmm.
I just proved it to you with that story,
Yeah.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
and why does that story
Yeah.
not sound like I made it up? What is it? Why does it sound real?
Because it's unique.
It's because it is real. It is real,
Okay.
and when it's real, it's gonna be so specific like that that you
Mm-hmm.
haven't
Yeah.
heard of it, other people say it because everybody says the vague,
Mm-hmm.
vague kind of, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, I care more about the project. I don't care about money. Everyone can say that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then give me an example of a time in your life where you actually did that. I just did, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Okay.
I mean, you don't have to come
Yeah.
up with it
Well,
right
I think.
now,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but I
I think
guarantee
I might
you,
need time to think about
yeah.
it. Mm-hmm.
And this is why we practice storytelling. This is why I
Mm-hmm.
always say, what is that 5 second moment, vivid memory? That picture, that
Mm-hmm.
means you can picture it. Like right now, I can picture it.
Mm-hmm.
I can picture the apartment building that we used to live in when I was 6 years old, where the car was parked, and it was a white car. I can imagine everything like it was yesterday, right? Because there's a vivid
Mm-hmm.
memory of that, right? Start
Mm-hmm.
with that,
Yeah.
and then try to keep going. Oh, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? And by digging into your past memories, it'll actually tell you who you really are. And then you can tell us.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you do find a story like what I just gave you, right? The story would
Mm-hmm.
be this backstory, story, lesson, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
hey, listen, I am, I care so much about making something perfect that I'm willing to lose money over it. For example, when I was 6 years old, my dad would always pay me $10 to wash the car, and I would go and I'll spend an hour washing the car. I'll wax it, and then I'm like, I want to make it really new and really perfect. So I would actually spend the $10 that I made washing the car to go buy an air freshener for the car for my dad. Right? That's how much of a perfectionist I am. Okay, and I always thought
Mm-hmm.
that was a weakness. Like that, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
I lose in business. I lose money. I lose blah, blah, blah. Until I started Night Owl,
Mm-hmm.
until I started my agency, where I lost money for the first 2 years making but those websites got me a bigger project, bigger, until it got to a
Mm-hmm.
point where I was naming my price because my work was the
Mm-hmm.
best. So
Yeah.
what I thought was a weakness turned out to be my biggest strength, and that's why you should hire me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. 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 I got it. My question is, if I have three other partners, do you
Yeah,
think we each of us have to come with our story and then combine it as our brand story, or
yeah. That's why
do you think
I
we have
asked you if you
to?
have partners, because this is your
Mm-hmm.
story. This is your personal brand
Yeah.
story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like your brand, I think your brand story is more like what you had before, where it's you guys come from an architecture background. I would 100% not
Mm-hmm.
ignore that. Actually, that can be your
Mm-hmm.
differentiator. Because other wedding decorator, what's their background?
I don't know. Maybe some are designers.
Okay.
Now some are even architects like us.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I would just figure out like what makes you guys special. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I would argue that, I mean, now we're going into like completely unrelated territory, but every company, it doesn't matter if you have 4 partners, there's one leader.
Mhm.
And I think like
Mm.
a lot of times people don't like to admit that, oh no, we're equal, we're 50-50. Oh no, no, we're all equal partners. No, there isn't. Like even out of friend groups, there's a
Yeah.
clear leader, somebody who takes the lead. And what's going to
Mhm.
happen is the brand of that business is mostly going to follow that person's personality.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean?
Okay. Got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
need to really figure out what that personality is in your business. But
Mm.
like I said, that amazing story, like if, like let's say I told that amazing story, and the bride was like, oh shit, like, oh yeah, this guy's amazing, and then he saw my work, and she's gonna be like, eh? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so your work starts to back it up, right? Like that's why
Mhm.
growing your portfolio, investing in your portfolio.
Mhm.
I tell everybody this already, right? Designers, web designers, UI designers. I always say that, right? They're like, how do I get bigger clients? How do you get bigger clients? Well, I'm a big client that is looking for a designer right now. Show me your work. Is your work good? Because I'll hire you if your work is good. Do you understand what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
just think about this. I guarantee you, in where are you in Indonesia? You said
Yeah. Right.
hello. Uh, You're frozen a little
Hello.
bit. But anyway, uh, okay, you're back.
Yeah.
You're in Indonesia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Right. In
I
Indonesia.
guarantee you, there's at least 1,000 brides in Indonesia right now looking for the perfect wedding decorator. And that person is going through
Mhm.
on Pinterest and looking at it. It's like, "Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like this. I don't like this person." And they're just waiting for that perfect one, right? So I
Mhm.
guarantee you they're there. If I put your work in front of that person, will they be like,
Mhm.
"Whoa, this is it?" I mean, it's not that the clients are not there. Yeah, clients are not there. The reason
Mhm.
why you can't find them is because of that.
Mhm. Yeah. 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 I get it. I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any other?
Totally makes
Do you have
sense.
more
Yeah.
questions? Get it all out right now.
More like okay. More like yeah. I don't really know what I should put on my Instagram instead of just portfolio and
For your company
past
Instagram.
clients testimonials. Yeah, for my company. For now, that's what we do. We just put our portfolio and
You know what I
client
would do if
testimonials,
I were
and
you?
that's it.
Because a lot of people, like design clients, and I would assume like a lot of wedding clients are going to be the same thing. They're much
Mhm.
more concerned in specific things more than the high level vision. Like so, when I talk to a client, right? A lot of times they'll be like, "Oh, I saw this animation on this website. I want something like that," or "Oh, I liked how they did this button here." Like, and they don't really think about the overall high level
Yeah,
concept, right? But as
yeah.
designer, we keep trying to sell the high level concept. So we keep trying to talk about the high level
Mhm.
concept, and the clients they're bored, going like, "Ah," right? But I guarantee you, as soon as you bring
Yeah.
up that stupid little thing that say, "You see this deck? How we did this with the flowers here?" Like they're gonna be like, "Oh wow!" Like, do you
Mm,
understand what I mean? So what I would do
okay.
is
Yeah.
I would make content of those type of things, right? Like I would make content
Mhm.
of like something something that you guys did in a project that's different than anyone
Mhm.
else has ever done. And I would just with your phone record and be like, "You see how we did this? And here's the process of how
Mhm.
we made it, right? And the reason why we did it." And you just
Mm,
talk about that one specific piece of decoration. Then
mhm.
somebody who wants that in your wedding, they don't give a fuck about everything else. They just want that in your wedding. You because I've had
Yeah.
so many clients
Okay.
that come to me and say, "Oh, I just want you see what you did for Gabby there? I just want that exact same thing here." Like that's how they
Yeah.
are. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what I would do. And I think what that's gonna do, because that's what I would do if I'm like doing content for my agency. I would be like, if I made one cool little functionality that you don't see anywhere else, I would just feature that, right? You
Mhm.
see how this like,
Okay.
and then what that's gonna do? It's gonna get your creative juices flowing because you want to
Mm.
post something unique on Instagram that nobody else does. You're gonna try to do something
Mhm.
in your client's work that nobody else does, and it's gonna keep pushing you,
Mm.
which
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
part of, I think, what made our agency really successful in that those beginning years
Mhm.
is that we had this environment where um, the designers will come up with like some crazy idea that I don't even know if it's doable, right? And they'll hand it off to the
Mhm.
developers, and the developers will look at it and be like, "Are you fucking crazy? Like, you want me to us do that?" It's like, but then the designer will actually push them to do it, and these developers
Mhm.
will like spend a week on it and actually make it happen, right? And then the
Mm.
designers are like, "Holy shit, you made that happen! All right, let's see if you can do this." And that kind of challenging each other is what
Mhm.
made our website so much at a different level than any other company. Well, while
Mm.
everybody was just doing the same thing over and over again, our team was just keep challenging each other, moving up. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah. 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 Totally. Okay. Can I ask one final question?
Yes.
It's actually about you and night owls. So you keep telling us that you don't care about deadlines. You miss deadlines all the time.
Hmm.
So has a client ever like upset
Left me.
about that, or
Yeah,
yeah,
they get upset
left
all
you
the
about
time.
because of that?
Yeah, it's kind of like
So you lose clients.
when you have a friend that's late all the time. You know, do you have a friend that's
Yeah.
always late? Like whenever you
Yeah.
meet that person, but you love this friend. Like this person is blessed to hang out with. It's like the best person to hang out with, but they're always late, right? So yes,
Yeah.
every time they're
Yeah.
late, you're annoyed, but you still love it. You still hang out with that person. You know what I mean? So what happens is
Yeah.
clients learn to deal with it, right? So for example, my
Mm.
clients, when they know they need something badass and
Mhm.
it can only be done by me, like
Mhm.
then they'll hire me for that. But they'll come to me like 3 months in
Okay.
advance to make sure I have
Yeah.
plenty of time to
Yeah.
do it, right? But then all the
Mhm.
other little projects that is time sensitive but doesn't need to be perfect,
Mhm.
they'll go to other people for
Mhm.
that. And good, because I
Mhm.
don't want to do those anyway. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So they learn to adjust.
So they will.
Yeah,
Yeah. So they will just tolerate
yeah.
your weakness, right?
Most of my clients have their own deadlines, so they give me their
Mm.
they'll tell me, "Son, we need this by this deadline," but they're actually lying to me.
Mhm.
The real deadline is here,
Yeah.
but they know I'm gonna miss
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Mhm.
So, but that's what I mean. Like we have that, I have that kind of transparency with my clients.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
yes, sometimes we'll like I have gotten to a point where a client just I had like an intervention call with her where the client was like, "Son, like we really need to get this to a while," and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry." Like, and then, but like I'm a human too, so I feel bad, so I'm gonna work my ass off and get it done. And it's
Mhm.
that relationship, that's human relationship. If you run any kind of service
Mhm.
business, you can't run a business without learning how to deal with human relationship. You have to. There's always ups and downs, you know.
Mhm. Yeah. 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 That's great.
That's it.
Thank you for answering. Yeah. That's
Awesome.
all my questions today.
Awesome.
Thank
We
you
got a
so
lot done.
much.
Thank you for your great questions, Helena. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Helena.
Thank you.
Awesome questions. I'll see you guys. Thanks, Matt. I'll see you guys all next week on Friday. Uh this week I'll see you guys on Sunday service. If you're a member. If you're not a member, go to my website sunE.co to join Night Owl Nation. And I'll see you guys. Cheers. Bye.